Hey everyone, Laura here from Layla Wellness. Welcome to your yoga practice today. Today is going to be a welcome to the holiday season class. You might be watching this at almost any time of the year, and I guarantee that there's probably some holidays getting ready to launch out in front of you, whether it's the Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of that kind of stuff, holiday season, or as we're preparing for coming up on Memorial Day and summer vacations and Labor Day, a little 4th of July sprinkled in for good measure. So I wanted to focus on just kind of being energized, moving your body, and doing things that are going to help you feel a little bit looser, shake off some of that stress, and dive into the holidays with the best mindset you can have. Let's get started. We're going to start today's practice in any seated position that you feel comfortable with. I always like to start in bound angle because I have tight hips, and so cross-legged is always a little too much for me personally when I'm first getting started. That arthritis needs a little time to loosen up. So you take it wherever you want to go. And we're just going to take a few minutes to honor our body and sort of sink into it, reconnect with it, see how you're feeling. You might have your eyes open, or you can let your eyes gently close, whatever feels good to you. Sometimes it's helpful to maybe just take a soft gaze at one point, maybe your feet or your hands or a spot on the floor, whatever feels good to help you sort of reconnect and drop back into how your body's feeling right now. So just take a moment to connect with maybe where your body's touching the floor, noticing if you're feeling any tightness, or pinching, or maybe you feel relaxed. Whatever it is, you just want to take notice of how your body's feeling right now. Give yourself a breath or two to just focus on that one thing. And then we start to tune into what's our brain doing right now? Do you have a to-do list you're trying to check off? Maybe you're thinking about packing for a trip on your vacation. Maybe you've got parties going on. Just notice if that's where your mind is going, or if you're able to get that mind a little bit more focused into the here and now. You're not trying to change it or judge it. You just want to notice where you are at, so you can start to focus your mind's energy. We start to tune into the breath. I like to think of the breath as the body's metronome. It kind of dictates your rhythm. So paying attention to your breath coming and going. It's effortless, it just happens. You don't really have to think about it. And then we start to bring a little more intention to that breath. Letting ourselves slow the breath down, deepen, really filling up the lungs all the way down to that diaphragm. And then letting all that breath out as we exhale. On your next inhale, let's get a little bit of length here in the spine, and then let the softness come into your muscles as you breathe out. And on that next inhale, focusing your attention onto your breath, onto your body. And then as you exhale, releasing any of that stress, that to-do list, whatever's going on in the brain, just letting it out as you breathe out. And on your next exhale, open your mouth a little bit and allow yourself to sigh that breath out. Give your body that signal that we're moving to something different. Let's take a deep breath together, reaching our arms out and up. If it feels comfortable for your neck, follow those fingers with your eyes. Exhale, dropping the chin, dropping the arms. Let's do that again. Inhale, big reach. Exhale. Let's go one more time. Inhale. This time as you exhale, drop your left hand across your body and bring your right hand behind you to support your back. Take a little look over your shoulder and loosen up your spine. Inhale, reaching both hands high, facing front. Let's take that twist over to the other side. Inhale, reaching both hands high. Exhale, put your feet flat on the floor and then let your hands drop down toward the top of the mat as you exhale. Sweep those knees right underneath your hips to come into a tabletop position. We want to have our hands directly under the shoulders, knees directly under the hips, nice and long through the neck. Make sure your fingers are spread out wide so you can see the mat between your fingers. Remembering you can always come up onto your knuckles or use your blocks if your wrists need a little bit of a break here. Let's take a deep breath, lift the gaze, drop the belly, lift the hips for cow pose. Exhale, scoop the hips under, round the spine, tuck the chin, cat pose. Inhale and lift, find that length in the neck. Exhale and round. Let's go one more round here. Inhale. Exhale. Return yourself to tabletop, tucking the toes under, lift the hips high, coming into our first down dog. Start to pedal out the legs just a little bit here and focus on moving your body weight to the middle of your hand, right at the base of your fingers. Long arms, lengthen out the spine, and let your shoulder blades slide toward your hips. So we create some space along the neck. Let's come up on all 10 toes. And as you exhale, let those heels drift down toward the mat. Maybe they touch the mat, maybe they don't. You can always bend the knees to get a little more length out of your spine. It's more important to have a long spine and long arms than long legs right here. Inhale and take your gaze toward the top of the mat. Start to walk the feet toward the top of the mat. Bring your feet right underneath your hips, keeping a generous bend here in the knees. Reach your hands up to the opposite elbows. Allow your belly to rest on your thighs, coming into a ragdoll pose. Shift your weight back slightly so you're resting more in the heels than the balls of the feet. I'm going to take your gaze right through the knees toward the back of the mat and allow gravity to lengthen out your spine. Release the hands and start to find some length along the back of the legs for your forward fold. You can even bring your hands to the back side of the legs, draw yourself a little closer. Whatever feels good for you right here. And let's bring all 10 fingers to the front of the shins, lift up the upper body until it is parallel to the floor, halfway lift. Nice deep breath here to lengthen out the spine. Exhale back down into that forward fold. Inhale, rolling up one vertebra at a time. Gentle squeeze in the glutes to press the hips forward a little bit. Take your shoulders up, back, and down, lifting your chest, palms forward. Find your mountain pose. Let's take a big deep breath up right here. Cactusing your arms, a little bit of a back bend, opening the chest toward the ceiling. Inhale and reach. As you exhale, reach the right hand back, left hand forward. Standing twist, working your hips to face the front of the mat. Inhale, sweep that right hand down, face forward. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale. Exhale, standing twist on the other side. Inhale, sweep the left hand down. Exhale, cactus those arms. Inhale, reach the hands high. Bring your hands together. Lace the last 3 fingers, pointer and thumb together. Exhale to the left. Nice little standing crescent moon. Inhale to the center. Exhale, coming to the other side. Inhale. Exhale, keeping that arrow mudra, bring it back down to heart center. Inhale, upward salute, scooping those hands down then up. Exhale, release the hands, forward fold. Head is hanging. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back into a plank or a table. Lower down to the floor, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra, maybe a full cobra, maybe up dog. You decide where you want to go. Tuck the toes under. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Pause right here. Take a breath. As you exhale, level out and come into a plank position. We want to take our right knee to the right elbow, and we're just going to flip it over, lift up that right hand, and bring yourself to a seated position. It's okay if you're halfway off your mat. You can scoot it back if you prefer. Sweep up through that right hand, and then exhale, wrap it around from the inside out your right leg. We're going to bring that left hand around the back. Maybe we can get those fingers to touch, maybe not quite. Sit up nice and tall for this half bind. Take one more breath. Inhale, release the hands. Reach it up nice and high. As you exhale, twist to your left. Bring your hands toward the top of the mat. Flip back over. We're going to take that right foot just outside your right hand to come into lizard pose. We want to angle out through those right toes, about a 45-degree angle. Nice and long through the neck, allowing your left hip to really open up right here. Full breath in and out. Inhale, reach those hands up high. Face the long edge of your mat. Exhale, bringing your hands down to the knee on the back of your mat for a high side lunge. Take a quick check into your feet. We want them parallel to the short edges of your mat. That means all 10 toes facing the long edge of your mat. Deep breath in. Exhale and switch that high side lunge to the other side. Really let your hips sink down into it so we open up that inner thigh. Deep breath in. Exhale, coming to the center of the mat. Exhale down into that wide forward fold. Looking through the knees, we're going to support ourselves with our fingers. Heel toe the feet in just a little bit. We're moving into malasana, so you need to adjust your feet, whatever seems like it's going to be best for you. Toes are out slightly. You might come here to a high squat, or you can allow yourself to come all the way down into your malasana pose. Maybe you're pressing the knees wide. Maybe your hands are on top of the elbows to challenge your balance, or maybe you're keeping your fingers out here in the front to help with your balance. You decide where you want to go here. Let's take one more breath. And take a look toward the top of your mat. We're going to reach those hands toward the top of the mat, coming into a runner's lunge. Nice and long. Stepping back into that full plank. Let's take the left knee to the left elbow, lift up the left hand, flip yourself over. Reach to the inside of that left leg, hug it in a little closer. Maybe you're bringing that right hand around to find your bind. Again, maybe the hands reach, maybe they don't. Maybe you're using a yoga strap here. One more breath. Look over the shoulder toward the top of the mat. Release those hands by taking a deep breath high. Exhale, flipping all the way over to come into your lizard pose. Toes out slightly. Allowing your right hip to sink down into the mat. Let's engage the core and face the long edge of the mat. Toes facing that long edge. Exhale, come into your high side lunge. Resting your hands up high. You can always take it down lower into a surfer's lunge if you'd rather be here right now. Go for it. Exhale and switch your weight to the other side. Maybe the high side lunge, maybe the low surfer's lunge. Your decision. And then we shift that weight back into the center. Find the right spot for your feet. Maybe you're in a high squat. Maybe you're down in your malasana. 2 breaths here in malasana. Looking toward the top of the mat. Pivot those hands around to the top of the mat and return to a plank pose. Pause here for 1 breath. And then we drop the knees to the mat, walk the hands back slightly to find your tabletop position. 1 breath in and out, maybe with a cow and a cat. Release that spine. Return to table. It's crossing over here at the calves and flip over those legs. Reach your feet out and come into a V sit. Create that letter V with your body. We want to maintain this tall chest as we come into a boat pose. A few options here. You can start here with your hands on your legs. You might take them off. You might lift the feet. Maybe you extend the legs, extend the arms, whichever you would choose to do. Let's hold it for 15 seconds. Ten more seconds. Five more seconds. We're going to take this boat down into a canoe. So tuck your chin, lengthen out through the feet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sink that canoe. Oh, felt a little shaking going on there near the end of that. Take your legs out nice and long here. As we take a moment to check through the body, we hit almost every part of the body in that quick flow, from the crown of the head all the way down to the toes. Let's just start to relax the body, softening through your face, around your eyes, and into your jaw. Down around your throat and neck. Letting your shoulders relax, your arms softening into the floor. We start to slow down the heart rate by slowing your breath, easing that rise and fall of the belly, and letting the hips sink into the floor. And continue that relaxation and release from the hips down each leg, all the way to the bottoms of your feet. Give yourself 10 long, slow breaths right here. Just like any vacation, any holiday, we can go busy, busy, quick, quick. But then we need to pause every now and then and give ourselves a few long, slow breaths. Finish up your 10 breaths, and then whenever you feel ready, start to bring yourself up into a seated position. Letting your shoulders drop, letting your chin drop, gently moving your ear from shoulder to shoulder, releasing your neck. And bringing the chin right back to the center, slowly begin blinking your eyes open. And let's take a final deep breath, out and up together. Exhale, bringing those hands to heart center. May you have peace in your thoughts, kindness in your words, and hope in your hearts. From my heart to yours. Namaste. I hope today's practice gave you a minute to sort of shake out that body, wake it up, get it energized, and then learn to bring it back down again. That's kind of the holiday season, right? Go, 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 rest. Go, 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 rest. That rest is super important, so don't forget that part. If you enjoyed today's practice, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things so you don't miss any future practices that might be beneficial to you, or pass it on to somebody that might benefit from it. If you want more wellness tips, how to bring a little bit more integration of different elements of wellness into your life, please feel free to visit me at laylowellness.com.